Joining us right now, we've got with us Judge Jeanine. She joins us once a week. This week, it's going to be twice. It's
yes, Wednesday and Friday.
Thank you very much. So what do you make of Jeff Sessions, our new Attorney General? He went down to Nogales, Arizona yesterday, made it very clear that the number of people who are crossing into the country illegally has plummeted in the last 2 months, and there are a whole bunch of new ways they're going to interpret the laws to make sure that the people who come into the country illegally are dealt with appropriately.
Well, I think it was a great thing. I mean, for the first time, it was made clear, I mean, when Donald Trump became president, that law and order is back in the United States. But I think even more importantly, when the Attorney General went to that border, he basically said, look, here it is. We are now going to prioritize these prosecutions. We're going to have enough judges on the bench, another 125 on the immigration bench within the next year so that we can actually handle these cases. We're going to prioritize any assaults on those who are Border Patrol officers. We're going to charge these people with identity theft and false instruments that they're using. And in addition to that, you come in a second time, we're charging you with a felony, and we're going to prioritize your case if you're a gang member. So what we've got now is a recognition that these cartels, drug cartels, gang members are coming in, and they're destroying not just the quality of life in this country, but they're adding to the drug problem. And, you know, MS-13 gang members are one of the biggest problems we have.
I think a lot of people didn't realize that until yesterday, essentially, crossing into the country illegally was a misdemeanor. Then
Yeah.
they changed it so it's a felony.
That's because what the last administration, they thought it was a freebie, you know. I looked it up today. If you go into Mexico illegally, you are jailed for 2 years. If you re-enter a second time, you get a 10-year mandatory imprisonment.
But if
and
you
by
want
the
to
way,
travel through Mexico to America, that's okay.
Oh, they'll send you over on a bus themselves.
Right.
And it's a mandatory no due process, by the way, if we go over there.
All right, we are just getting word that the CEO of United came out with a statement this morning. He spoke on camera. Let's listen to this, and we'll talk about that controversy.
Specifically, if I were to be here today as I am, I would tell you that the use of law enforcement aboard an aircraft has to be looked at very carefully. They're clearly there for a purpose of safety, and we want to make sure they protect us. But for other reasons, I think that's a policy we have to absolutely relook at.
In the future, if no one voluntarily decides to leave a plane based on the amount of money that United is offering, will United...
We're not going to put a law enforcement official to take them off the
A law enforcement official will never come on one of your planes again.
To remove a booked, paid, seating passenger, we can't do that.
So what is he saying? For a crew member,
you know what he's saying? Let me tell you what he's saying. What he's saying right now is, look, what we did was wrong. I know the lawsuit is coming, and I have to take responsibility. This guy's been flying high for too long, and I'll tell you why. He first comes out and he says, you know, the guy, the doctor? That he was belligerent, and then he says, we did everything. We treat our passengers with respect and dignity. Everything that he says is so out of character with what happened on that airplane.
He's not taking any responsibility. He's blaming law enforcement for the problem.
Well, look, his people called law enforcement on. Law enforcement does not have the right, in a civil dispute, to go on an airplane, bloody somebody up, and take them off that airplane, especially if they paid and the airlines allowed them to get on that airplane. Look, I'm on an airplane once a week at least. I never fly United. I think they're messed up. That's just my opinion.
That's what the governor just said. Governor Christie said the same thing.
Well, that's just my opinion. I will not fly on that airlines. But the more important thing is, if you are a paid passenger, you have a ticket, they let you on that airplane. And then they go, you know, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I think you should come off that airplane. And by the way, 120 million in China are not happy with this. And they're on social media. And they decide to take you. Right now, United's getting sued. That police agency is getting sued. They have no right to bloody that man up. None at all.
I actually don't blame the cops.
$400, $800. I've been in waiting. They've offered $1,200. They just keep raising the amount until someone voluntarily leaves. He's a doctor. He had patients. This is an outrage. This isn't police state where some flight attendant comes out and says, you know, let's just move this person out. I have an employee, a guy, you know, who didn't buy a ticket, who should remove someone who actually bought a ticket.
All right, so if they were in your courtroom, you would side with the doctor.
I would definitely side with the doctor. And you know what? If anybody should be flown, it should be him. He's got patience.
There you go. All right.
IENTS and IENCE.
It's what we don't have enough of these days. All right. Judge Jeanine, thank you very much.
I can tell you got fired up. I've never seen your hand quite like that.
I'm really upset because I fly all the time.
Right.
Thanks, Judge.